Welcome to How Can You Go Wrong with Rental Property, where we uncover the hidden truths behind real estate investing. Hi, I'm Peter Harris, and today we're flipping the script. People always talk about how rental properties can create wealth. Yes, it can. But what can go wrong? Plenty can go wrong. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you in detail what can go wrong that can cost you time, money, or even worse. So if you are thinking about investing in rentals or already have a few, you can't afford to miss these next few minutes. Let's get started. Here's what can go wrong with rental property. Number one is you can buy it wrong. Number two, you can sell it wrong. And number three, you can manage it wrong. Do those three things in a wrong way, and it's going to equal failure. So right now, I'm going to start off with the first one. The first thing you can go wrong with is to buy it wrong. Okay? The first thing you did, if you bought it wrong, is you overpaid. When you overpay, there's no cash flow. There's a little bit of equity. And guess what? If you try to sell it, you can't. Okay? Because you bought it wrong, you overpaid. Here's a solution. Okay? The solution is to, when you considering before you buy it, is to get sales comparables. Okay, let me explain sales comparables. If you wanted to buy a home, okay, down the block, 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, and it's for $500,000, how do you know if it's a good deal? You know if it's a good deal because you're comparing it to other 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses on that street. The same with rental property. You need to compare comparable rental property to the one you're considering buying. Okay, all right, so you need to get sales comparables and compare yours to the ones that have already sold. Okay, and then number two is if you're doing commercial property, the cap rate comes into play, the market cap rate. So the market cap rate is where you get to figure out what other properties have sold for cap rate wise, right? Cap rate wise in the market, and compare that to your property. So if you're in a 6 cap rate market, okay, everything in your area is selling for 6 cap rate, right? And you're buying your property at a 5 cap rate, guess what? You're overpaying. Okay. So again, if you're in a 6 cap rate market and your numbers pencil out to be a 5 cap, you're overpaying. But if your numbers come out to be a 7 cap in a 6 cap rate market, then you're underpaying. You're under the market. Got it? Okay. All right. And then next, lastly, to avoid overpaying, you need to remove the emotions. Okay? You always hear me say this: when emotions go up, intelligence go down. So make sure that you fall in love with the numbers, okay, and not with the property, the beautiful property. The numbers become number one. Okay? All right. The second thing where you can buy it wrong is to do a bad job on your financial due diligence. Okay? And one of the biggest reasons why people do a poor job on financial due diligence is because they believe what was given to them by the seller. Sometimes the agent will just give you seller information. So it's not the agent's fault, it's what the seller has given to the agent as their true numbers. And I would say 98% of the time, those numbers are wrong. Okay, they're wrong 98% of the time. So the biggest mistake that new people make, new investors with rental property, is underestimating the operating expenses on the property, right? They believed what the seller gave them. The seller says, my expenses are here, right? But guess what? When you actually buy it and own it, the expenses are here. Guess what happens to cash flow? It goes down to here, all right? So I'm going to give you one solution that will solve most of it, okay? When you're looking at a deal and you have the income and the seller gives you expenses, I don't want you to believe them. I want you to plug in this formula. I want you to plug in the 35 to 40% expense ratio, all right? So if the annual income is $100,000, I want you to take expenses to be 35 to 40% of that income. So $35,000 to $40,000 per year, okay? You almost can't go wrong with that. But most times the seller provides is much lower, and it's not true. Got it? Okay. All right. The third thing where you can buy it wrong is to buy in a bad neighborhood. Okay. So guess what? You bought in a bad neighborhood, but guess what? You got a good price, And on paper, it shows good cash flow, but here's the truth, okay? After over 25 years of investing and coaching, a bad neighborhood cannot overcome a good price or good cash flow on paper. You want to know why? It's because bad neighborhoods, unfortunately, attract bad tenants who don't pay. Okay? And when you don't pay, you're going to have a revolving door because you have to evict them. When you evict them, you're going to have lower income and you're going to have higher expenses. And guess what? That equals failure. That's what that equals. Okay? All right. Got it? All right. So number one is buy it wrong. That's the first thing that can go wrong. I just showed you also ways to buy it right. Okay, let's go on to number two. Have something to share? We'd like to hear about it. Please comment below and we'll respond, including me personally. Here's the second thing that can go wrong, that you can do wrong when buying rental property, and that is to sell it wrong. Okay? Here are three ways where you can sell it wrong. Number one is to sell it to begin with. There's a quote I have: trees that are slow to grow bear the best fruit. Okay, what that means is to be patient when you are a real estate investor. Wealth is built over time, always will be. Okay, now I want you to give yourself at least 7 to 10 years of ownership to maximize the profits. If you have a small, if you have a small and medium problem with the property, if you can hold it long enough, oftentimes we can outgrow that problem if you're just patient. Okay, so trees that are slow to grow often produce the best fruit. Okay, and number two is the second thing that can go wrong is to sell it at the wrong time. So if you are selling in a high interest rate market or in a downturn, guess what's going to happen? You're going to reduce your pool of buyers. So your buyer demand will be very low, and guess what? The few offers will come in, and the prices that they offer will be low as well. Okay, so selling at the wrong time is not good. So if your local economy is booming, okay, everything's going well, I suggest you hold on to it for a little while longer. Okay, so don't sell it at the wrong time. All right, and lastly, number three is to sell it without a plan. Okay, now get a load of this. If you sold $1 million rental property in California or another state that charges state taxes when you sell, guess what? You're going to pay about $190,000 in state and federal taxes. That's huge, right? That's huge. So why give that away? Okay, because you didn't have a plan. Okay, the simple plan could be to sell your $1 million property using a 1031 exchange, and guess what? Guess how much you'll pay at closing? Zero. Okay, you're going to defer all the capital gains taxes, and if you can maximize your profits here, you can probably buy up close to a $2.5 million property if it's planned well. Okay, so do not sell without a plan. That is a wrong thing to do. Got it? All right, let's go on to number three. Got questions? Simply text the word Peter to 833-942-4516 and we'll help you. Here's the third thing that you can go wrong with rental property, okay? And that is to manage it wrong, okay? Now, here are the couple things I'm going to share with you. There's a lot that can go wrong here. These are the top two, okay? Number one is not optimizing your rental income, okay? Now, do you believe that property taxes are increasing? Yes. Do you believe that insurance costs are going up? Yes. Do you believe that supply costs are going up? When you go to Home Depot, do things cost more? Yes. Thank you, inflation. Next, do you believe your labor costs are going up? Yes. Right? Now, with all this going up, your rents need to be at least at market levels. Okay, here's the problem. Most beginning rental property owners, the ones that are not performing well, are too afraid to raise their rents, right? People will move out. I have a nice tenant. I don't want to ruffle my tenant base, right? And you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? Because we're in the business to make money, to optimize the property so we have cash flow to do the things that we need to do. So with these rising costs, at a minimum, I'm not saying put your rents over the top, but they need to be at least at market levels. If not, you're going to start suffering here, okay? This is what can go wrong. Got it? All right. Number two is the obviously second one is the hiring the bad property management. Now, what's indicative of hiring a bad property manager? What will you see? You will see high vacancy, right? Their inability to keep your rental property occupied. You will see poor reporting. They're reporting that you get end of the month is either late or is inaccurate or it has mistakes on it or just isn't there, okay? And number three, you will see your cash flow start to go down, down, down when you realize that you have a bad property manager, okay? Sometimes it's too late and you're gonna have to fire them, all right? So what we do is we teach our students to get ahead of the curve here. We teach them, first of all, how to hire the right property manager. And then probably the most important thing is how to manage the management. That's a skill set, okay? It took us 20 years to do that. We know how to manage the management. It's a skill that you have to learn, okay? Here are two videos that I believe will really help you. This video is called that we produce how to find a good property manager, and probably the most important one if you're already in a business, okay, and you suspect something is fishy with your property manager. I want you to watch this video, Preventing Property Management Fraud, okay? That goes on a lot, unfortunately, okay? All right, so there you go. There's number three. Hopefully by now you will see what can go wrong with rental property, and you can also see what you need to do to make it go right for yourself. Got it? All right. Okay, thank you for watching this video. If you want to learn more about what we do here with our students nationwide, go ahead and see the link there. You can become a mentee of ours. We mentor students from around the country. All right, and if you want to just read a book, the book link will appear right there. Just click on it, no obligation, just read it and go at it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you at the next video. Click subscribe and add alerts so you can get more easy to understand commercial and multifamily wisdom.